we are going to be having Group C playing in Kampala. And let's see if Fred is now ready. Fred, a good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, thank you very much for giving us your time this morning, speaking to us from Kampala. And just to give us a whole idea about how everything, has been, especially from the Ugandan side, is let's just give us a recap of what happened over the last 2 weeks, where Uganda hosted the Rugby Africa Cup, and that was at one of the training pitches next to the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Nambole.
Yeah, it was a very successful tournament for people who have followed rugby base that we've held in the recent years. And it was also a very good test for Uganda ahead of CHAN, because they were using it to also test the facilities and some of the things that need to be touched before CHAN starts. You could see from the pictures that were being shared and the videos that the pitch was good, and that's just the training pitch outside Nambole. So the inside one, we fans and of course media had an open chance now to see how ready the place was. The stadium is very okay. I think Uganda is ready to host CHAN.
Well, and talking about that, just give us a journey about, for example, one of the renovations that had to be done at the Nelson Mandela Stadium for CHAN, because it's one of the stadiums that's going to be having double headers. How much work has been done to change, the face of the stadium, and most importantly, the playing surface, which I think had to work to be done twice?
Yeah, the playing surface has been undergoing renovations for about 4 years. And we had some games. We hosted some AFCON qualifiers, especially that one against South Africa. The pitch itself is good. Like I told you, it is the same pitch like the one we have outside the pitch, outside the stadium where we were using for CHAN, for RAC. So there's been a lot of work. The pitch is in it's in excellent shape, and I think it's okay. It's now very ready to play, because in RAC, we're playing 4 games per day. So you can imagine 4 games of hard work on 3 days, and at the end of it, the pitch looked as good as fresh. So I think the pitch is good.
Well, let's now talk about, the other facilities that are required, things about hospitals, hospitality, and the plans that have been put in place, and what the CAF inspection teams have said about Uganda's readiness for this.
The only challenge that we had is when they opened Nambole, there was a lot of insecurity, especially for fans leaving the stadium late. But that has greatly improved during the RAC, and because the army and the police have done good work. But when you go to other facilities like hotels, you really know that Uganda is a destination for hospitality. We do have the hotels are ready. All the RAC teams were sleeping around, and it's a good proximity to the stadium too. And the medical facilities are in good shape. I've been informed that there are some which are private that will also help during the tournament. So I think with that we are ready. The only other part might be the road network, but understand during CHAN there will be some roads that will be dedicated for the teams and officials, and then the fans. So I think in that front, we are ready for it.
Let's talk about, what I would say is actually the fan, because this is a very important component when it comes to the Championship of African Nations, CHAN, especially for those who are from the visiting teams. And what cultural experiences, people would expect from Uganda, because if you've got 3 days in between matches, that means that there is a lot to experience.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so much about tourism that will happen. Of course, you know the source of the Nile in Jinja is just 2 hours, or let's say 1 hour when there's no jam from Kampala. People will be able to travel there. There's a lot of tourism that the ministry is promoting. You've seen that recently, if you follow, we've been having Martyrs Day, where people are coming from all over Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, up to Zambia, and they were able. So there's a lot that they're going to offer in Uganda. I think people who are watching RAC and fans who traveled realized that the after party in Kampala is one that is unrivaled. And we hope maybe Chan will pick some lessons from what rugby did. They had a lot of the clinics. All those teams that came, Algeria, Morocco, were doing a lot of work with the communities. So that's one of those things that could occupy them. But the biggest ones are going to the Martyrs Shrine, where the martyrs were killed at one time. Then Jinja is also there. There's a lot. And also the tourism and hospitality industry has really prepared for this.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and also, by the way, Fred, I can tell you, I received greetings from Tanzania from somebody known as Jeffrey Leah. We are going to be joining him in a short while. But first, Fred, let's take a look at Group C. Uganda, Niger, Guinea, Algeria, and South Africa. First of all, your outlook of the selected Cranes team and how you view Group C of Chan.
Definitely, we go into the tournament as one of the most experienced because we've played Chan for 6 times. We only missed the inaugural one, and then the rest we've been playing. Unfortunately, we have failed to leave the groups. That's something that should worry us. You look at the other opponents in that group, at least they have reached semifinals. Guinea reached semifinals in 2022. South Africa, you can see how they are playing in their league. They have somewhat a stronger team. The only challenge maybe for Uganda is that our preparations haven't been the best. At the moment, the FUFA named 2 coaches to be the head coaches. What in Uganda has started a new tradition where people are called co-coaches, where both of them are the same level. And then during last week, while we were watching the team training ahead of that 4 Nations tournament, again, we saw Paul Put being part of it and running the drills. We didn't have a goalkeeping coach, it wasn't mentioned. So Billy Kigundu, if you remember the under-20 team that reached the final in Mauritania in 2021, came in to just help. Onyango also came from Club World Cup. He has been helping to train the team, but over the weekend, he left and for South Africa. So in a way, we've been having that challenge, but I hope that we'll have a better team especially after this tournament that we are starting today against Kenya in Arusha.
Well, I want to tell you, you have got a free day because I've just received communication that Kenya has withdrawn from the 4 Nations tournament. So, Fred, not a good one, not what we expected. The coaching staff have said that can happen. But Fred Mwambu, thank you very much for your time this morning, and hope to see you either in Nairobi, Kampala, Dar es Salaam, or Zanzibar. Wherever we will be, we shall find each other.
Yeah. Definitely, I'll take you to Jinja and Kabalagala.
All right. And before you leave, just say hello to Jeffrey Leah, who's down in Tanzania. Jeffrey, a very good morning to you. Fred says hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, East Africa. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, colleague from Uganda. I hope it's been a brilliant Monday morning to all of you, and we're all looking forward to the upcoming CHAN tournament that will be co-hosted in East Africa for the very first time.
All right, thank you very much, Fred. So let me now move on to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you know, when the fixtures were released and we found out that Tanzania was going to host two groups, Group B and Group D, Group B in Dar es Salaam, Group D in Zanzibar. Just give us a whole concept as to how the news was received in Tanzania because of that.
Everybody is very excited. As you know, football is an industry that has been growing rather rapidly here in Tanzania in the past few years, perhaps with a bit more pace than the case has been in the previous years. So everybody is excited. You know, we've been enjoying a bit of a purple patch as far as the club football is concerned. We have two Tanzanian clubs, Simba and Yanga, who have been doing very brilliantly as per our standards in the CAF club competitions. These are teams that have made the finals of the CAF Confederations Cup 2 times out of the previous 5 seasons, which is no mean feat for a club in East Africa. And that has been a catalyst for a lot of improvements which have been happening as a whole in the football industry. So everybody's excited.